to the nightcap, your TA home. Everybody knows we trade in them zones. Late night, no sleep, yeah, we keep it real. Crypto moves fast, no time for the feels. Trade fly rockin' charts, he about to take flight. Crypto nightcap, where the dark meets the bright. This path ain't cheap, you can dream while you sleep. Steady building wealth, invest in yourself. Breaking it down, good vibes in sight. The maker's in tight, adjusting my sight. It's all or nothing, this is how we attack. Get your head right, it's a crypto nightcap.
What is going on, crypto fam? Welcome back to another episode of the Crypto Nightcap. We're doing this every Monday through Thursday, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we are bringing you some of the most important market news as well as technical analysis that you can actually use. I'm sorry I'm not going to be in character tonight, but y'all, hope you enjoyed the last episode for Halloween. Shake and bake, baby. That was fun. Sorry, I almost slipped. But we got lots to talk about today. We got the election coming up tomorrow. That's going to have a big impact on the market. And we got rejected. We got near all-time highs again. And sure enough, a little dumpsy-doo after that. But that being said, I do have one of the most busy guys in crypto, Detroit's own, the man, the myth, the legend. We got FD White. Let's go ahead and bring him up. There he is. What's up, dude? How are you?
I can't complain, man. I'm election time. I'm chilling, man. Everybody's going crazy. I got me a little a pea protein shake. I'm chilling.
Right on. Hey, I'm repping some swag too, man. In and out crypto, baby. Right here. If you guys don't know, you can go down to the description, get a little what is it? I don't know, 10%, 15% off. I think it's 10%. But you can save yourself some cash, man. Go get some swag. The Bitcoin hoodie. I don't know if y'all seen that. I'll have to show you guys that probably tomorrow. But that thing is fire. It's a little expensive, but that thing is actually really, really nice material. And I've been wearing that thing everywhere. So it's pretty dope. But what's up, man? What's good with you today?
Man, I'm watching Bitcoin, man. I told people at the beginning of Sunday, watch for a couple $1,000 swings all until this whole week. It's just going to be $2,000 up, $2,000 down, $1,000 up, $1,000. It's going to be a lot of swings, a lot of potential to make money if you can control your fear and control your greed. Most can't, so most need to stay out of the market. So including me. But I have taken 2 scalps, made $30 because I was down 400 on one, made 30, came back, got out. Fees took it back down to $10, and then another one I think I made $40 or $50. So not too bad. I'm waiting on a level we'll talk about during the TA, but had a pretty good weekend. So now we just got to wait and see what happens tomorrow, wait and see what happens Thursday, and then make our thesis from that and keep going.
And fees, man. That's why I want to own an exchange. Them fees are crazy. Don't matter. You win, you lose, still paying those fees. Let's go over to the chat here. Say what's up to a couple people. I see you guys working the chat. Hold on. Let me go to live real quick because sometimes it blocks you guys out. I got username here. What's up, dude? Hope all is well. We did start relatively on time today, just so you know. It was close. It was close enough for government work, right? Username's in here. Hart, what's up, dude? He said bad signal. That's all right, man. Thank you for being here. Thanks for dropping in the chat. We appreciate you. Alex, crypto, my dude. He was on that last episode, which was fire. FD, if you guys didn't notice, FD is talking again. That was kind of funny. He played that out for the whole day. Even his responses, I don't know if you noticed on X, were nothing but ... He was full character whole time. That was probably his easiest day in crypto, man. He just didn't have to say nothing. So that was a lot of fun. Wix Wife Fine 89's in here. Who else we got? Alexandra G, best mod in the house. How you doing, lady? Thank you for being here. And Silver Days XRP, he's letting those emojis go. He must like the tunes in the beginning. We're gonna work on that, man. We got plans to make that thing better. It's a matter of time. I know I keep saying it, but we're busy. But we are going to actually work on that. Let's see here. Mike Plays in the house. What's up, dude? How you doing? Username said, I am blinding everyone with the all white. Sorry, man. I try. Want to rep the shirt, man. The Bitcoin shirt. Had to do it. Max H is in here. He said, I've been waiting patiently for Nightcap. Let's go. Hope you fellas are having an incredible evening. You as well, man. Thanks for being here. It's always a pleasure having you. And who else we got? Scrolling down the list here. Retro Mike Tech in the house. He said, had the opportunity to buy an exchange last year. They offered it to me at a super low price. Mike, let's talk, man. I'm starting to run into some people with some money. And I actually do want to get into an exchange. So we'll talk. We'll talk, man. All right, cool. I guess it's time to get into some news, man. Let's go ahead and do that. Over to our first little piece of news we got here. Let's make sure I'm hitting the right button. And let's go ahead and share this. Now, I have not actually shared audio yet, so this is going to be new for me. Let me know if you can hear this. Can you hear it, FD? No? All right. All right. Oh, gosh, that thing is just continuing to go. So basically there, what he's talking about is the interest rates and how high they are right now and how much we're paying towards a debt, essentially that we as a nation will ultimately go bankrupt. Now, up for debate because we know we're just printing out fun money at this point anyways. It's the rules are made up and the points don't matter the way most people see it. But I would like to see him go in and you know make a difference in terms of, hey, let's reduce some of that government spending. Let's bring that back a little bit to something that is a little bit more reasonable. I don't know if that'll ever be the case, but again, I am excited to watch that happen if the old orange man does get in office. I'm going to go ahead and let me see here. Nah, it's all right. I ain't even going to go with it. Let's go to the next article here. We got a $5 million bet was just placed on Kamala Harris on Polymarket with just under 7 hours left to place wagers. Let me see when the time of that was. That was at 4:41 my time, so that was about an hour ago. So I guess there's about 6 hours left now. That's a big bet, man. That's a big bet. But that being said, I do believe, let me see if I can find it. It looks like Trump is actually ahead in the polls right now. So this is just kind of the current Polymarket, you know, who's winning right now. But it's really interesting to have this data kind of real time live. He did have a significant lead, and then Kamala, she got with pretty close. I think probably about 24 hours ago. 24 to 48 hours ago, it was pretty much neck and neck. Looks like he's starting to pull away again. So the big discussion right now is the swing states, right? And it always is. But they're saying that, you know, potentially Pennsylvania is going to be kind of that deciding state, you know, of this election. So it's very interesting because at times that people are like, he's just running away with this thing. But I'm going to sit back, get my popcorn ready and enjoy the show, man. You know, the big thing is, though, how is it going to affect the market? And that's what we got to kind of try to figure out. Now, we've talked about it a little bit on the show. We know Trump's stance is pro-crypto. It does seem as though Harris's side is taking a more crypto-friendly approach right now, but she hasn't really talked much about it. And that's kind of the concern there is it's kind of speculation. We're kind of making assumptions that she's going to be crypto friendly. But FD, I'm going to ask you, do you think that the presidential election will have an impact on the market? And when I say that, I know that people are getting skittish right now before the election. It's pretty normal. And then after the election, you typically see business as usual, right? So one, we'll talk about that. But two, do you think the actual candidate that gets elected will have an impact on the market as well? So, you know, if Trump gets in, what do you think the market's going to do? You know, vice versa.
Short term, I think it does. Like, you know, short term, everybody is kind of in the camp of a nice pump, a faster pump, I think. So if Trump gets in, probably a faster pump. If Kamala gets in, probably a dump, then a slow grind up, then a pump. But I think we're gonna do well either way. Short term, well, mid term is really long term. And this also correlates to the first thing you talked about with Elon talking about interest rates being high and trying to reduce the government. I seen he was standing up speaking. He was talking about reducing government's employees and giving them like 2 years severance pay and all this. I'm like, all right, all that's it's good. It's cool. And to stop the government spending, let's at least try to get it to even. What you know bring in is what you spend. At least try to get it to even. But we're still 35 going on 36 trillion dollars in debt. So something else has to be done. They're talking about lowering interest rates. Usually they raise interest rates in order to bring, bring inflation and bring all these other things down. And it hasn't really worked like that. And also, we got the 10-year that's been going against us as well, because the bond market is just saying that we see more inflation in the future. That's basically what the bond market is saying. So it's tough, man. I don't know how Elon's going to juggle all this. He's trying to go to Mars. He's trying to run Tesla. He's trying to run X. Now he's going to be on the government deficiency, government efficiency. Well, I'm gonna call it the government deficiency, because I don't think nobody can come in and fix it. To be completely honest with you, I think we have a better shot with them coming in, but I don't think it's gonna make too much of a difference in our economy either way it goes, because we can't restructure the whole Ponzi. Like, the Ponzi is set, the house of cards is set. You can't come in and restructure a Ponzi scheme unless you let it all crumble and start from scratch, and that's not happening. So whatever they're saying, I take it with a grain of salt. I do like Elon, and I do like what they're talking about, but it's a little too little, too late, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna be a Debbie Downer. But that's why we invest. That's why we're in Bitcoin, because we don't. Well, that's why I'm in Bitcoin. That's why I'm in other investments, because it's my hedge against a failing system, basically. So we'll see, man. I hope the best for everybody, but they do start to cut interest rates a lot. Whoever gets in, they start to do all these government programs and stuff, man. It's just gonna be more inflation, and our bags are gonna be pumped, and everybody else is gonna be sitting there complaining about groceries still. So it's just something that it's a win, lose, win situation. It's kind of sad at the end of the day, but as long as Bitcoin goes up, right?
Yeah.
That's all
No,
everybody
man,
cares about.
I'll kind of piggyback on that, man. And so I'm pretty adamant that if Orange Guy gets in, I think Bitcoin goes up. I just do, and I'm pretty solid on that. And because he's taking a very pro crypto stance, and he's been very vocal about it. And if he starts doing some of the things that he's gonna do, like implement a national reserve, it's. I just really think that it's going to happen, and I think it's good for cryptocurrency as a whole, right? It's going to open up the doors a little bit. That being said, I don't know that what's going to happen on the other side. I just don't. I have no idea, because she just, like I said, hasn't said much about it.
We don't know anything. We really don't know. If you really sit back and think about it, it's not just crypto. Like, I was talking to some of my friends the other day, and we don't really know anything about that. We know like some a few policies that they've been talking about, but for the most part, we're left kind of in the dark. And it's just like most people are voting for that side because they don't like that side. So it's not really like a policy thing. This election, it's like, I hate him, so I'm going to vote for them. Like,
it is a feelings. It very much feels like emotions and feelings more so than policy, because she ain't really gave no policy, to be honest. Like,
but I really don't know, and I don't dislike anybody. I'm not sitting here and talking about somebody's better than somebody, but I want to know. I want you to lay it all on the table. At least with him, whatever he is, I know what he is. No matter if it's policies, no matter what kind of person he is, it seems like that's just him. He's authentic. That's who he is. If he's an enemy, if he's not, I know who he is. I don't know who this person. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what camp is going, what's going on in the camp. So not to get too political, that's just coming from my perspective. But back to Bitcoin, though, I think if he does get in, I think we do pump.
Let's reel it back in.
Yeah, reel it back in. I think we do pump. I think we do pump very hard. And then we're going to find some equilibrium either way. Like, it's going to be to the downside, then back to the upside, then equilibrium, or pump, dump, equilibrium. So I think we're going to find our way back home either way it goes.
Yeah, right on. Retro Mike Tech, he said everything is words until I see action, or the title to a Ferrari, which means his bags must have pumped. All right, Clay the Great's in the house. Hootie hoo. What's up, my dude? I see Al Jr. in here. What's up, my dude? Hope all is well. He said it might play out to 63.6. Are you still holding on to that short, you crazy man? You're a wild man. He's been holding on to short for a long time. And he said hit that likes. And a whole lot of words I can't say. But hit those likes. Help us out. I love it. RMT, apparently he has a cannon in his front yard as well. I'm going to stay clear of that. I do have a old school black powder pistol, the revolver. I think it was like an officer issue way back in the day. Still wrapped in the grease and everything. My granddad gave it to me, kind of passed it down, man. It's actually like probably one of the coolest things that someone's given me as a gift. It means a lot. So, all right. That being said, let's go ahead. Let's get into the next article here. As we're talking about this political stuff, sorry, there's an election tomorrow if you didn't know. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. But let's go ahead and go here. And we can see that nearly half of likely voters agree crypto, blockchain, and automated technologies are the future of finance. And that's according to the Harris poll. So, I mean, that's cool, man. That's cool to see because we've talked about it quite a bit. A lot of times we are kind of the little fish, in the water, and we don't really matter all that much in the grand scheme of things. Like when a lot of the polling was going through, like, hey, do you want to talk about, or do you want to hear about crypto and blockchain? And most people were like, no. But this is cool to see that, like, hey, like when they're pinned in a corner and they're like, okay, well, is this going to be the future? Half of them think that it is. So even though they don't really want to hear about it, they are in agreement that, it is the future. And I would agree. I mean, I think we're on track for that. It only makes sense. But the thing that's scary about it is it only makes sense for the government, I think, in a sense of like, they probably want to have more control. And that will, I think, what is supposed to be a decentralized asset, and we'll have to talk about this a little bit. I think when it comes down to it, this digital nature of being able to track everything is actually going to make it feel a little bit more centralized in the long term, where they're going to be able to track everything, all of your expenditures, but it could clean things up too. I mean, like with taxes and things of that nature, but I don't like it. I don't like it. I think you should still be responsible for your own stuff, right? Because you'll probably have to go through these loops of like, okay, well, no, you guys overcharged me here and this was incorrect here, so I think it's going to create more problems in the long term. But we'll see. We'll see how it plays out. But I think they're going to take something decentralized and turn it more centralized if the government has anything to do with it. They're probably like, oh, this thing's here to stay. Well, how can we centralize it? How can we control this? So that's kind of my big fear. You got anything on that?
Yeah. Hopefully, like what I want to really see is a diversification. Well, not a diversification. So let's just say they do have some of the ones that they have on the blockchain that they can that's kind of centralized. I would also like to see like some more decentralized type finance stuff too, so we can kind of pick. I don't think that's gonna happen. I think once regulation starts to really come in, then they're gonna basically kick out their competition and just use all have so many loopholes that these projects and blockchains have to jump through that they won't even be worth it here. So hopefully we can have some choice of these more centralized entities, and then we can have some decentralized things that we can pick from as well. But it's the future. How long in the future? Probably a closer than we think, but farther than we think too. But I think blockchain and I think AI is going to lead the charge in a lot of sectors, not just finance, and just a lot of sectors in our everyday life. And we're going to have to just slowly change with it. Hopefully it turns out not to be Big Brother, so to say.
Oh man, sorry. I'm trying not to laugh, man. I'm looking at the chat between Al and Otter right now. Y'all too crazy. He's at Al Jr. looking like Hancock. True or false?
Yeah, I thought that was a Hancock like photo at first until I really looked at it, because they're so little. I can't. Yeah, I like that picture.
That's funny. I'll read it. Look, Mr. Brokeback Otter. All right, that's it. I'm done with that. All right, you guys know what's up, man. We got to bring on the third member of this show. We're going to go ahead, bring up the man, Mr. Elmer Fudd. So, according to the Kabisi letters, U.S. home insurance costs are skyrocketing. In October, the average cost of home insurance in the U.S. hit $2,285 a year for $300,000 worth of coverage. This is up another $370 or 19% in just 5 months, according to Bankrate. Over the last 3 years, the average annual cost of a home, let me make that a little bigger. The average annual cost of the home insurance is now up approximately 30%. Nebraska, Florida, and Oklahoma are the most expensive states with annual insurance rates of $5,655, $5,527, and $4,835 respectively. Home insurance is adding to the affordability crisis. I would agree, and that just goes with the rest of inflation on top of it all. Homes are more expensive, insurance is more expensive. I've been telling you, insurance was skyrocketing. Like, we haven't really looked at the numbers too much on this show or in the morning show all that much, but all the data is nasty. Like, there's nothing really good like coming from the data right now. So the insurance, I can feel that here in California. I know people in Florida are just getting slammed as well. I know it's gone up astronomically. I was looking at properties in Florida, and I was just like, you know what? With all the hurricanes and all the craziness, the way insurance is going up, the HOAs are bananas out there, at least in a lot of places I was looking. I just decided not to go for it. I ended up investing in Wisconsin, which was a whole nother discussion there, but we can talk about that another time. But that really just adds like to what I've been kind of saying for a while, is like people's disposable income is going away. So I kind of wonder, because like we talk about the big seven and the stocks, and I'm like, how much is that retail? You know, I'm starting to wonder, is that retail, or is that like institutional investment and government officials, you know, the more wealthy individuals? And is it us sitting on the side kind of like saying, well, we're just trying to like get our SpaghettiOs and meatballs and some ramen noodles, you know, and some toilet paper. Shoot, might even have to reuse a rag or something, you know, when it comes down to it. Like, is that the life we're living, you know? And that's why this big seven is growing, because it's not us, it's other, you know, it's the more wealthy. You know, I don't know, you know, I'm curious, but what do you think on that, man? Do you think
It's
that like
tough,
we're getting
man.
to a point?
With the insurance, man. Like, so Wick's wife made a fine point. This is not politics, but going back to what she said they're basically it's all talk, right now until it comes to action, no matter who it is. She was talking about Trump, and that is true. And that comes back to what they're saying about, lowering prices, lowering insurance, lowering all this. Like, how? How are you gonna do it? Like, I don't see a way. Like, I remember when I was coming up, I sound like an old head right now. I remember when I was younger, we had this candy called now and laters, but it was like in
Oh,
this
yeah, I
big
had
pack,
that.
and it was 25 cents. Then over the next 10 years, it was this size, but it was 25 cents. Then you got like four of them, and it was like $1. We never went back to that. We're not going back to that. That's just an analogy that I'm using for all these prices and stuff. Like, it might come down a little bit, but unless we get like a full reset, man, it's nothing is coming down. That's what people don't understand. The president does not have control of prices coming down. That's not going to happen. So insurance, all this. Now, insurance is a scam. I will say that insurance is a scam. Car insurance is definitely a scam. Homeowners insurance, of course, you need it, but it's like going through the roof now, literally. So a lot of these things are price gouging when it comes to like the
Yeah.
insurance side. So if they might could do something about that, in that specifically, but the other things, I don't know how they could do that without like a some type of deflationary event or something like that. But yeah, insurance is through the roof, and it's just like, even if the people don't own assets, it's like, if the people who have the money, they can pay these things, they can keep the economy going along for a certain amount of time, keep paying insurance as it goes up. And the more money the middle class and the less fortunate have to pay, they have to pay, with these things. They don't have any more money left over to invest in. So it's just a weird doom loop that we're in right now. So hopefully, people can try to figure it out. Like, everything I say is revolving back to the same point. You know what I mean? Like, it's tough out here, man. It's really tough out here. Some people, That's why I love to come here and try to, get some new people in and open our eyes, because everybody in the chat here, we're pretty much on the same boat. We're on the same page. We're like a, one big community now. But hopefully people see this and they, hopefully wake up to some of these things, because I think the next 4 years, no matter who's in, is going to be very tumultuous times. It could be good times too, but you have to know. You just have to know how to play the game.
Yeah, right on. And that's why, like, we get together. Like, I would say, like, you're listening to us. We're by no means professionals. We just do it a lot. Like, we're looking at it every single day. We'll give you kind of an analysis, but we're a group. Like, there's times that I learn things from FD, from, Piper, OC, Alex O. Like, there's always someone out there that can teach you something, and you should be listening, right? Because the deal here is to make yourself better. And, the name of the game is we're trying to make money. Let's be real about it. We're not just here, playing around, throwing cash, in the gutter. Like, I hope not. Like, I hope you're not just out here gambling. Like, you're here to genuinely invest in something and to learn about that and learn how to invest better. So
yeah, and I got something to add before we move on. Like, and even
up?
like with me, I just made an XRP video. This is probably my last XRP video. I might do one more, but I wasn't even coming to as a video for asking or telling people what the analysis is or what I see happening. I was coming to people who actually were in the community, actually are in in the space, and ask them what should I do. Like, give me some pros and cons about holding this XRP, because I've been talking about it for like the past couple of weeks. So I came to my community. I came to YouTube, and a lot of people. I got a lot of comments talking about what I should do and why I should do it, and I appreciated that. So sometimes I come to YouTube to learn, as well, even on my own channel. So I put that question out there, and I got some good responses back. So it's a give and take thing for me. I got called a genius. I got called an idiot. All in the same chain. So it's just you take the good and the bad, and you try to learn from it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I see Biomex in here. We're going to be having him on the show this week, actually. Who else we got? Crypto Pollo is going to be on this week. And then I got one more person, pretty big name in the space, that I'm trying to get on here, hopefully for Thursday. We'll see. I gotta follow up with him, but I think we might have someone that'll be pretty good pool. So, but I just want to shout out French Toaster. Hola, my friend. How you doing? Bio, what's up, brother? And make sure say what's up to you guys. Thanks for being here. And Skatecrow 77, man, he keeps saying he's old. I'm guessing. I'm gonna take a guess. He's born in 77. You might not be as old as you think you are, because I'm not too far off. All right, let's go ahead and get back over to the market update here, and let's get this going. Here we go. Total market cap is sitting at 2.21 trillion. That is down 3.76%. 24-hour trading volume is at 81.82 billion, which makes for a 6.76% increase. And Bitcoin dominance currently at 60.58%, which is up 1.24% over the last day. That is a big move. And I'm guessing it's even higher on your chart, FD. You said that one is a little bit lower typically than what you see on TradingView. I'll have you take a look. I
think
it's spot on now. Maybe they adjusted. They took your input, man. They must watch the nightcap. They must. All right. I know some people are. There's a couple things that I've been noticing on some other channels, and I was like, you didn't do that before. And that looks a lot like something we're doing, but I won't call people out. It's cool. It's cool. I actually think I think it's kind of cool. All right.
Imitation is the greatest form of flattery, Trey.
There it is, man. There it is. All right. Fear and greed index is sitting at 50, which is neutral. And let's go over to the crypto bubbles. All right. PopCat is taking a little bit of a beating here. That is down 10.7%. And this screen is in my way. Go away here. There we go. And put it right there. All right. Rune is down 14.9%. Hex is down 9%. Doge is actually up 7.3%. Let's go. We've been talking about Doge here for a few weeks at least. Mu is down 7.1%. Other big movers, nothing really. But what did I say? If Doge was going to move, what else was going to move? SHIB. It didn't move as hard, but it is positive, right? Doge is positive, SHIB is positive. I'm telling you, it's going to drag it along. I'm telling you. Keep an eye on that. Definitely keep an eye on that. Phantom is down 7.1%. And Pando, don't know too much about that. Let's see, any other big movers? OM down 5%. Everything else seems to be sub 5. WIF 5.2%. Let's see, TIA is 5.5% in the negative. Cool. Let's go ahead and scroll down a little bit. Look at some of the price acts or the current prices of the top coins by market cap. Yeah, Bitcoin at 1, that's at 67, just under 68K. Ethereum is at 24,100 or correction, 24,011. Man, I am struggling bust tonight. All right, $2,411. There you go. All right, BNB is at $554.77. Solana is at 158. Dang, that's pulling back for the week. That's down 11%. We were looking at that. I made a pretty decent call on that. I know that I was asked in the trading group about where I saw that hitting some resistance, and I said I was looking at about 182, 183, and I think it went up to like 183, like 66 or somewhere around there. But not too bad, not too bad. We've cooled off quite a bit. Maybe we'll look at that on the chart if we got time. XRP is sitting at 50 cents. That is hurting, but 50, 60 cents, man. We've been talking about that. Dogecoin is at 16. That's been a positive thing for the day, at least 7%, even though it's down 2.9% for the week. Tron is at 16 cents, and Toncoin is at 4.69. Cardano, dude. Cardano is no longer in the top 10. That is at 0.32 cents, almost 0.33. Look at the total market cap, 11.52 billion. Remember, we were talking about that when it was at 13.5 billion. It is now at 11.52 billion. So it is losing market cap, and obviously the price action is in the negative as well. Scroll down just a little bit. We'll give you at least the top 15 here. Shiba Inu, that one is steady at 12 there, and a whole bunch of zeros on a 1.7. That is up 1.9% on the day. AVAX at 22.86. That's getting its butt whooped over the last week, 13.3% in the negative. Bitcoin Cash has moved up to number 14. That's at $329.79, but in the negative for the day and the week. And Chainlink, that has moved down to 15, and that is at $10.32 and in the negative for both the day and the week. All right, over to the liquidation heat map. Here we go. We talked about this a little bit on the morning show. There was some liquidity to the downside. That is a little bit closer to where the price action is, and look where the bulk of some of this liquidity is. I think I said 67.3 is what I was talking about this morning. Yep, there it is, 67.3. So I was talking about that this morning. I thought that was very achievable, and now look how close this price action came to 66.6. So we'll go over to the charts. We'll take a look at it. You can also see the liquidity to the top side. That's starting at about 69,550 and just working its way up. So there's a good bit of liquidity up there to be left behind. We'll see if that actually happens. But right now, this is what I talked about this morning, is you want to look to see which direction the price action is going. Like, you're looking for the trend, and we can see the trend is down and right now. So let's go over to the chart. Look at that. What do we say here? 66.6, we'll call it. Let's see where that plays out on the chart. Pull this up here and get rid of all this. What are we on, the weekly? Let's go to the daily. All right, 66.6. Find that on the chart. Yeah, I remember talking about this because it's just under the point of control. So this is kind of like your little fight going on right here. You got the point of control, and you know everything that you had as support. You had the 2021 high. You had this trend line. It broke through that. Now you got the point of control. Kind of like your last-ditch effort before I think you see a little bit move down, and then we get to this area that we've been talking about. I mean, you got some hopium in terms of like horizontal levels, which I think are a little bit weaker. But this has a lot of confluence. Not only do you have a horizontal level, you have the dynamic reactor, you have a trend line, and this is, I've been talking about this quite a bit. So somewhere around, say 63, like 7, 63.6 in that area is an area that I'm going to be looking for. And like I said, I've already put a limit order, as well as I have an alert here just to let me know when we're getting down here. So I'm actually going to move this alert up because I want to get ahead of it. And I talked about that a little bit on the morning show. That's just 63.8 is good enough for government work. So what'll happen is when it gets down there, it'll shoot me a little notification on my phone, and I'll go check everything out, make sure we're good. And then see at that point, I'm going to assume if we get down there, it's probably going to come down pretty hard. So I would expect the limit order to open. So, all right, looking at that. That's a pretty key level. We've talked about that. Point of control, where you're at right now. You got some support there. If we break down what you'll be looking for here, potential opportunity, OC retest, move down. But we'll see. It could come down pretty quick, but I would look for that. Like if you're looking for a setup on maybe a potential short trade, you do want to see this retest before you get comfortable with taking a position as a short position down to this area right here. So this is going to be a limit buy for me. This is where I'm going to go long. Now, I want you to understand what I'm looking at here because I don't know that this is going to be like a hodl position. All right. So I think for me, this position here is going to be a quicker entry. I'll probably look for about a 2% move with about 5x leverage. Okay. So 2% move, 5x leverage. And we'll kind of go from there. So I'm going to see how it interacts with this level. Do we get a strong wick off of that level? If we do, maybe I stay in the trade, ride it up. All right. If we don't get a strong wick off of that and we start coming down here for like this retest, then I'm going to have a little bit more concern. All right. So I'd say the 2% is when I'm probably going to then move up my stop loss, lock in some profit, or not profit, but probably my initial investment. And then we're going to kind of see where it goes from there. So we'll see. That's kind of what I'm looking at right now for this. So I'm expecting price action, but we got to be careful because we could actually be flipping the trend in a shorter time frame. So keep an eye on this. A little bit riskier of a play, I'll say, because I'm not waiting for the retest on this. This is one where there's confluence. I'm looking for that bounce. But again, there's not a lot of, typical setup I would like to see is something more like this, where you get the retest and then you're coming down and you're looking at the oscillator, see what the oscillator doing. And this is ugly for the record. But what you would like to see with a retest is that the oscillator looks something like this. And then that would make you pretty comfortable with taking a short position. So, yeah, that's what I'm looking at right now. And in terms of like, where it could go and find support on the bottom side, like if it really like fell, this channel, we've talked about that quite a bit. If you guys are new here, that is not the channel. Let me go ahead and right click here. But this channel right here, you see this yellow line, this trend line? If we're going to interact with that, that's probably at about 56. We'll call it 56.5 by the time price action gets down there. This has been a long-standing area of support. All I got to do is go to the weekly, look at the weekly, scroll in a little bit, and you can see we haven't had a close underneath of this trend line. All right, so this is a very important, a very key level for me, and we should keep an eye on that. We did talk about this median right here. Didn't get a weekly close under that. Rejected off of that pretty hard, right? Got pretty close to the all-time high. And then look at this. I'm going to be honest with you. Not something I really looked at until now. But look at where this is. Let's draw a line here. What do you notice about that? When we came up to retest this area again, what do you have, right? The trend, it basically didn't have as much strength going into this move again. Now, I understand it's an oscillator. I understand kind of how it works, but look at where it's at. Now, one of the things that I noticed here, I talked about this before. I don't know if I talked about it on this channel here, but look at this. From here, really, I mean, if you took it, this looks a little different. I think if you look at an RSI, you basically see bearish divergence between the two highs. So it doesn't show it as much here, but this was a very clear bearish divergence. If you look at this, I think on traditional RSI, let's actually take a look at it. We get to do this live. Other strength index. Yeah, so you can see like the price was going up, right? And then the RSI was going down. So that's kind of what I was looking at there. So more so the average of all of this. But if you take it from what, here to there, similar, right? So even though we didn't set a new all-time high, when we came up to retest that area, that same peak over here on the weekly, same deal, right? Yeah, descending level. Not descending level, but like the RSI, like the trend is down and right, even though the price action is coming back up for another retest. So I'm not saying it's the end all be all of coming up and retesting an area, but I mean, if you're looking at it and you're trying to say, hey, like, what's the statistical probability that this is going to play out? I mean, we have two now historical data points here, from here to here and from here to here, that would say that there was likely to be a retracement or a pullback. So if we see this again, if we see this setup again, keep an eye on it, right? Not saying it's going to play out every time, but name of the game is learning here. So, all right, again, support level, key. All right, this trend line, this yellow trend line, I highly advise putting it on. This is just a channel. I took a channel, high to high, support to support, through the channel. Boom, there's your support there. And there, this median here is now resistance. I said there was confluence with all-time high. I was looking for a little bit of a rejection there. So that's where we're at time now. You do have this trend line. We still haven't broken that. We can take this pumpkin off now. But we got this trend line here. If we go on the daily, it's a little bit more prominent. You can see we have that working its way up. So could be an opportunity that it comes down, revisits this trend line as well, as a horizontal level of resistance. But understand, the longer this takes to play out, the longer further this line extends, and you may not ever visit this horizontal level. You may only hit this trend line. You might actually start talking about some different horizontal levels a little bit higher up if it takes longer for this price action to work down, because right now it's kind of a slow trickle. I think this, honestly, has a lot to do with the election, to be perfectly transparent. Like, I just think that people are kind of like sitting back a little bit. They want to see what happens before they start rushing into the market. So, name of the game here. This is probably a no trade for me in this zone. Got too much. I mean, there's resistance, there's support, there's just lines everywhere. It looks like Mexican spaghetti, as we call it when OC does TA. This is just it's a no-no zone for me. All right, I'm not going to trade in here. So I'm going to let it break out, and then we'll kind of go from there and see how we can attack this. But there's some key levels for you on Bitcoin. Pass it over to FD. Let's get it. Uh-oh.
Man, so this is Matic, aka Pole, man. So I think it hit a new cycle low today, around 28 and some change, 28 cent and some change. So it's, I mean, the picture is self-explanatory, man. If you're holding this like me, I think I'm selling. I got a limit order set for my whole bag that I've been holding since 2020 at 30 cents. I did get in super duper low, rolled it all the way up to $3. Was wearing sunglasses around the house, round tripped it. Now we're back at 30 cents, and I think I can take this money and put it somewhere else. So I'll still be in profit, but I'm going to take this money and I'm going to allocate it somewhere else. And I did, for full transparency, I did sell 1/3 of my XRP bag. I'm going to hold the rest, man. So I got a nice little chunk of change on the sideline. I want to get a nice little chunk of change on the sideline for what happens tomorrow or what happens this week, just to have some dry powder on the side. But I wanted to just quickly go over Bitcoin and Ethereum, just a really quick analysis, because a lot of things haven't changed since we've been doing since we did this TA not too long ago. So Ethereum is really is really what I'm looking at to tell me if the market is bullish or bearish. A lot of people are counting Ethereum out, which is cool. It's not doing what everybody thought it was going to do after that ETF. But Ethereum is really telling me what's happening in the market. And I take this trend line back, this upward trend line, this upward sloping trend line all the way back from June of 2022. And the reason I like this trend line so much, I explained this on a video on my personal channel, is because we made this low at around $840 June of 2022. Then we got a nice pop to about 2K. So remember that 2K level, 2K 2100 level is very, very, very important in our analysis right now. We came back down. What happened in November of 2022? This is when we got the FTX collapse, and we did not even breach this trend line. So I said, okay, I like this trend line. This is the trend line that I'm going to keep looking at, because if the FTX tobacco didn't bring us down, this is a strong trend line. So we popped up 2000 again, came back down where? That trend line, $1,568. ETF news popped all the way up to about 4K, came back down, kissed it around the carry trade. What happened at the carry trade? Trend line for the carry trade. Didn't breach the trend line. We didn't even deviate from the trend line. We just touched it, kissed it. Mwah. Popped back up, got up to 2,700 again with this lower high, and now we're hovering around 2,413 dollars, and we're coming into that $2,000 area, the one that we had so much trouble getting above over those past couple years. And now the upper sloping trend line and the horizontal are coming to meet right at this area. So this is telling me everything that I need to know for the markets for the most part. Now, if we do go below it a couple days and pop back up, that's bullish. But if we just start closing dailies and weeklies below 2,000, 2,100 to 2,000, somewhere in that area, I'll start to get a lot concerned about the overall health of the market. So that's just something that's on my radar. That's just my analysis. I don't know if anybody else is looking at it like that. That's just how I'm looking at it. And I'm looking at NVIDIA as my another North Star that I use for equities. But when it comes to Bitcoin, Bitcoin right now, what I'm looking at for the immediate short term, let's see if it pops up. I was looking at a retouch, or this is on the weekly still, so we're doing a zoomed out view of this 65,825, and I just pulled this trend line all the way back from August, the beginning of August. We came up, hit our head here, trend line, hit our head here, trend line. So this is just trend line trading right now. Of course, I'm going to bring in some oscillators and see what's going on. Prime Oscillator Pro, see what's happening up here. Then I also am using this new thing that is not out yet on Chart Prime, but I'm starting to like it a lot, and it's called the 3D trend. And this thing has been spot on when it comes to like long-term trading and swing trading, but we're not going to talk about that right now. But I am starting to implement this in my analysis. But like with Bitcoin, let's go to the 4-hour and just look at all the movements that we've been having over the past like 24 hours. We just been getting whipsawed back and forth, $1,000 moves here and there. Let's actually go to the hourly. We can get a little bit more information on what's going on. Let's make that a little bit bigger. All right, where's Sunday? So Sunday, we were at 67.4, popped up to 69.7, had this huge candle down to 67.5, came down to 66.8, popped back up. Now we're hovering around 68,000. So I'll be opening along, full transparency. I'm opening along around 65.5 to 65.8. So I'm trying to see if we come down here before the election. And if we looked at the heat map, we did have a little bit of liquidity down here. And I think it was some liquidity up around 70,300 as well. So those are my two price points that I'm looking at to potentially open a long and open a short. All this stuff in between right now, I'm not touching it. I'm not doing really too much analysis on anything else until after we get, what's going on tomorrow. And then I'll start to dive a little bit deeper. But right now, altcoins are still bleeding against Bitcoin. Like we showed that chart with Matic poll earlier. I'm selling at 30 cents. I already have my limit order set. And then a lot of them are just bleeding. Like a lot of them have just been bleeding against Bitcoin and bleeding in USD. So this has been a weird cycle, and I'm just trying to get some more dry powder on the sideline in order to take advantage of what's hot and what's going on, the trends. So I'm gonna just ride the trends, get in, swing trade for a week or two, get out and play it like that. And I do still of course hold some of my longer term bags of Ethereum, of course Bitcoin, which I'm never selling, and I do have a few other coins in the stash, but for the most part, I'm riding these trends, and I'm gonna keep it moving from there.
Hold on, let me pull some stuff up here. All right, trying to look at the AVAX chart. I was looking at Sol. We're gonna go through this real quick here. We got a nice little level of horizontal support right at about where we're at right now. All right, so we did break this trend line. Look, got that OC retest. Here we go. This is what we talk about. Like, this trend line's been up here for a minute. This is the retest that we're talking about, OC retest and dump C do. You know what to do. All right, now we're looking at a horizontal level of support, right? Right at about 22.88. Okay, so where we're at time now could be an opportunity. The problem is, I think there's room for the market to actually continue to regress. So I'm not very comfortable at that area right now, only based on looking at some of the other assets. Looking at Bitcoin, like I said, I think there's an opportunity there for that to retrace still. I'm not saying it will, but I think there's an opportunity there. And with that being said, where we're at right now with AVAX, then I have to start looking at the next level down. The next level down for me, a very significant area, is going to be 19.742 cents. Okay. And that is, if you go back to this range, that's the bottom side of this range. So the bottom side of this range, as well as here, as we were pulling back, we did try to kind of establish a new trend, ultimately getting rejected off of the dynamic reactor after it fell underneath it again with that OC retest as well as that trend line. So I am looking at this area. I think this is going to be my area to look at for AVAX. Let me go ahead and put an alert. Let's go ahead and do that now. It's up to you if you want to do that alert or make that alert with me. But looking back left on the chart, I mean, this area makes a lot of sense for us to get a bounce just based on horizontals. But I think, you know, like I said, if crypto continues to pull back, this is the spot to look at for AVAX. Okay. So just understand the context of that. Like if we pull back, this is not the spot. This is the spot. And so I wouldn't be against, you know, looking at a limit order or a long position on AVAX at about $19. That's not bad. It's not a bad price. Solana, same deal. And this is why I'm kind of saying this, right? I'm looking at Solana. Like, look, we're just underneath of a critical level at 162. We've retested that area multiple times before we broke. We even tested it as support. So we flipped what was resistance into support. Now we're underneath of it again. So this is now, unfortunately, back to resistance. We have regressed to the mean. I guess I'm going to have to update all the pumpkins. What are we going to do? Turkeys? I think that's up next, right? We'll do turkeys here soon. But I think that leaves us open. Remember, I was talking about this area. I was like, hey, all is not lost. You know, we were up, 182, 183. Don't worry. Like, it could come back down here. It really could. And we had a lot of confluence, right? If you're looking on the daily, let's look at the 4 hour too. I just want to see where the dynamic reactor is on the 4 hour. So that's already flipped red, retested on its way down. Okay, so the confluence was definitely on the daily. I think I was looking at the dynamic reactor, this trend line, as well as a horizontal, which is actually the point of control. So not only is it a horizontal, it's also the point of control. That's going to be a key area. I think, man, this one's tough. I don't know if we'll actually get down to the point of control or not. Looking at this trend line here, influence is kind of shifting up, I'd say. I think the point of control is in play, but I think the play here, if you're looking for a bounce, just based on, you know, I think the market will be watching some of these areas here. And well, maybe not the dynamic reactor, but we know we get bounces off of that quite a bit. The dynamic reactor, this trend line, acting as support, I think at about 151, which is a fun alcohol, by the way. I think you could see some price action off of that. But I think the smarter play is the point of control, but I just don't know if it'll make it past this confluence or not. So we'll see, because, you know, we've talked about it before. Solana seems to hold up a little bit better in comparison to Bitcoin. So we'll see. We'll see. But there's two key levels, I think, for you guys to look at if we continue to pull back. I think 151 and about 144. That's the point of control. Two areas to look for some price action. And, I mean, we've reestablished this range now, so you got to be careful. If we get a little push up, you might see a rejection off of 162 again. That's going to be a key area. As you can see, we've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, ultimately 6 with a retest. So that has been a pretty key level. So 162 is probably your line in the sand, right? I would look for rejection off of that area. Or if we break out of it, you know, that could be good news here. The value area high, I mean, it definitely played a part. Here, not so much, at least on the daily. It really didn't do much. I mean, it did have some resistance. Ultimately broke through, but then it was just kind of like almost worthless. So, you know, initially it was resistance. I think probably people were looking at that, at least retail, and then got that bump through. So 162, again, I think that's probably your key level out of this whole situation is 162. And then some areas to look for some price action, 151 and 144. If we lose these levels, then you know what's happening, right? We're going long. Well, at least I'm going long. 128, no doubt about it. You can already see that that's been triggered once for me. But 128 is definitely an area I'm going to be looking at a long position. I'm telling you guys, like my game, I just sit back. I find these nice little horizontals and I let price action come to me. And then I'll play it up to, a reasonable area, point of control, dynamic reactor, whatever the case may be. Nice little swing trade. Wham, bam. Thank you, ma'am. I'm out of here. All of this stuff. I mean, we try like 162. Like we can say, hey, like, yeah, resistance, cool. Like we could try to take a short off of that. But all this stuff that's going on here, I don't really care all that much, to be honest with you. I try to find these key levels, and really, I'm to be honest with you, the key levels for me, 162, 128 are really my key levels in this range. And so this is really the most important area for me. And that, my friends, is where I am going to set another alert. So keep eye on that. 128, that's probably your biggie. Not saying price is going there, but I'm going to wait for it. That's for sure. I'm going to pass it over to FD. We got time for one more, then we're going to get out of here.
So I got Link, and I'm trying to go over some of the coins in my portfolio, and it's making me sad, to be completely honest with you, man. I'm looking at this trend line that we were in since the beginning of August. I think around August 4th. Yeah. So we came up, start hitting our head here at this $12.72, $12.75 area. So that was our ceiling that I wanted to break. So it seemed like we were kind of forming an ascending triangle. We had this upper sloping trend line, then we had this ceiling here at about, like I said, $12.75. And I'm like, okay, came up here the first time, got rejected, came back down to our trend line. Came back up again, got rejected. Where did we come? Back to our trend line. Came back up again, but we made a lower high rather here, came back down to our trend line, broke this high just to roll back over. And now we lost the trend line. We lost the overall upward trend line. So I don't like to see that. I really want to get back up here. First area we have to get past is $10.75. Then we'll have this area at about $11, and we get back up here, we can try to reclaim this upper, this trend line. But these alts look weak, man. I'm not gonna lie to you, right? Like even as Bitcoin is hovering around all-time highs, even when it was making, touching or trying to break these all-time highs, these alts were not getting a bid like that, and that's why we saw Bitcoin dominance going up tremendously. So I'm in a position right now in my investment plan where I'm trying to cut some, not even losses, because I've been holding these things for so long that I round tripped them, and I'm like, okay, at least I can get back up halfway to where I was. But a lot of these things I'm letting them go, and I'm trying to reevaluate, start from scratch, so to say. Now when it comes to Bitcoin, Ethereum, I hold ADA. I'm gonna hold my ADA. It can just stay there forever. I'm just gonna hold that. But a lot of these other coins in my portfolio, I don't even have that many. I probably have like 7 or 8 now. I'm going to start to reevaluate maybe like 4 or 5 of them and go move forward. But I'm waiting to see what happens after this. So I think I'll have time. I'm getting a lot of dry powder on the sideline. I'm kind of taking Warren Buffett's approach. Like I don't like what he says about Bitcoin. I don't like what they talk about, and he may be just gearing up for something else later in life, because he is later down the line in his life. So I don't know exactly what his frame of mind is, but I have been seeing over the years, we have been seeing a lot of people selling a lot of their stock. Jamie Dimon, Jeff Bezos, Mark Zuckerberg, Warren Buffett. So we can't take these things for as a grain, with a grain of salt. So I am trying to de-risk a little bit, but still be heavy in the market. Plus, I know how to trade a little bit, so I can catch up, so to say, if you want to use those words, if things start to pop off. But Chainlink I was just looking at this, and I said we lost this trend line, and now we have to just see what happens. If we keep coming down, my next area of interest would be at about $9.35, and we'll start to reevaluate once we get back down there. But just be careful, man. Be careful. This next week is going to tell us a lot short term, and then we do have all this economic headwind still above us. So just be careful in the market, man. It's not always fun and roses like we've seen these past few months. But even after March, a lot of these coins have not been bouncing back. A lot of these coins have not been gaining strength, and we've been seeing a lot of the liquidity in these alts get sucked from the alts and go into Bitcoin and meme coins. So I'm in it to make money. I love the tech. I love what crypto is for. I love what certain ones is for, but it's just one of those things where I'm starting to de-risk and reallocate a little bit more. Buck said Piper got to FD. Hey man, Piper, you know what? No, he didn't. I'm still bullish. I'm bullish on Bitcoin, and I'm bullish on a few other coins, but some of these other coins I'm not bullish on. So I'm definitely de-risking from those. But people are like, I'm not new to this. I've been in crypto since 2020. So a lot of these coins, like Matic, I got in below 10 cents. So I'm still in profit. XRP, I was still around, break even. I think I got in at like 49 cents. So I'm still like in profit or break even. So I'm de-risking a little bit from those. And there's still profit, so to say, and putting it in. I can't wait another 3-4 years like for these things to move. I'm trying to do a lot of things next year, so I need to start making some money. Even if it's like I take it out of Chainlink or take it out of Matic, whatever it's called these days, and I make a 3-4x from there. I take that. I make a 2-3x here. I take that. So it's not really trading, but it is. But it's more so like swing trading. But I feel like it all is swing trading. To be honest with you, like if you're not trying to retire with it, what is it? It's a swing trade. So I mean, we'll see what happens, man. Hopefully, I don't get wrecked. So when you sell, everything starts to go up, but hopefully that doesn't happen. But I don't care, man. It's America, man. That's one great thing about America, man. Every day you wake up, you can make lots of money. You just got to figure out how.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair, man. I have seen that quite a number of times, man. The minute someone like pulls out of something, it pops off, man. It just seems to be the thing in crypto. But that being said, it is about time
Melissa said, I'm sorry, Trey. I hate when I do that. But on the chat, she said, I felt off today. The time change messed me up. Me too. I'm not going to lie. Melissa,
I'm tired right now, man. I ain't gonna lie.
It messed me up too. Yeah, I just woke up right before the show. I was watching The Penguin over on HBO Max. I fell asleep. Oh, shout out to if you're not watching Penguin, make sure you watch. If you like TV, I don't really like TV, but if you watch TV sometime, if you want to decompress and watch a little bit of TV, man, Penguin is a good show. And I watch From too. So
this man, he says, I don't like TV. I tell you, every time we talk post show, he's telling me about a show. Don't
it's
let
the same show though.
He likes TV.
Show.
He likes TV.
You know how back in the day the women couldn't wait to their stories or whatever their soap operas came on. That's how take you away.
I can tell.
Take you away, man. So I just like those shows, but just trying to figure it out. Going home, what's going to happen this week, and then next week we probably just start being super bullish. So we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, I think post-election, I think you're going to see a move post-election. I think that's what a lot of people are waiting for right now. So, we'll just kind of sit on our hands the next couple of days. Like I said, position yourselves, man. Find those key levels. Find those key levels that are out there and position yourself and just wait for it, And the worst thing that happens is that the position never opens. And you just find the next one. It's a beautiful thing. It puts your mind at ease. Depends on how you play the game, especially, for someone like a swing trader. That's kind of the way I like to do business. If you guys are just hodling, some of you are. I know you're just kind of DCAing in. Respect, because that's probably the more efficient way. And statistically, you got better odds than I do. So that being said, we're going to go ahead. We're going to wrap this one up today. And we appreciate everyone for being here. Thank you for being in the chat. It's truly, truly appreciated. Hope you enjoyed the show today. Like, subscribe, do all the fun stuff. Go down in the description. Get yourself some savings on In and Out Crypto, Chart Prime, NordVPN. All that stuff is down there. Go check it out. Decrypted.tax. I know that's actually coming up, so that's going to be a big one. Go ahead, check that one out for next year. Ernest is what's up? What you got?
I'm sorry, man. Wick 589 said, "What's the best show that isn't Breaking Bad? Go watch Reacher, man. Reacher on Amazon Prime. I think it's on Amazon TV. Prime, man. Huh?
He likes TV. He does.
Oh,
he knows all the shows.
Sorry, man, but I think everybody have a good day. Have a good night. Watch your shows, get some good sleep, kiss your loved ones, and go hug an opposing fan of a candidate, man. If you like Trump, go hug a Kamala fan. If you like Kamala, go hug a Trump fan, man. Let's all just come back together, man. I hate to see all this division, really do.
Hey, if you really want to bring up the mood, go back and watch our Halloween episode. That'll do it. That was a lot of fun. Yeah, there was a couple things I heard in church this weekend, and I liked them, man. There was what was one of them, you know, was a passage, and it was basically talking about like, you know, demonizing other for their beliefs and, you know, your beliefs. And, you know, the big thing is like, you know, basically it doesn't matter what they believe in. It doesn't really matter what you believe in. We're talking about political affiliation, not like God and all that. But like, you know, just accept that, you know, and that's fine for other people to have different views. And I'm totally on board with that, honestly. Like, you know, I have my own views, I have my own, you know, wants and desires in life, but when it comes down to it, I will never, you know, hate on someone else for what they're believing. And, you know, I put this on X too. And this is another thing that kind of came from church, is that, you know, we shouldn't worship an elected official. You know, the only one that should be worshiped is the guy, you know, that rose and resurrected, right? So if you are a Christian, if you believe, you know, that's what it comes down to for those that do. So hopefully I didn't bother anyone too much with that, but I think we're going to go ahead and close it out. I think I see something. I see something on your screen right now.
This for Wick. You know,
my man's putting a hand up. He's like, call on me. I got you.
So
I got you.
This is the guy who plays Reacher, man. So he's
pretty.
Yeah, he's big too. So he hope he's bigger than Tom Cruise. So it's a good show. Season 3 is coming out soon. So make sure you catch up on season 1 and 2. You're gonna love it.
Right on. All right, for reals. We're gonna get out of here. You guys have a great night. Trade safe, be safe. We'll see you tomorrow. We're out of here.
Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 yeah, go. Hustle hard, hustle every single day. I'll be making moves till I'm buried in my grave. To the system, I don't wanna be a slave. I've been doing shit my way, or the highway. And in the driveway is a nice range, cause I grind through the climb, I invite pain. You'll never hear me, bitch, nah, I don't complain. Just gotta flip the switch and you can go and obtain anything you want, anything you need. Your mind's got the key ingredient, it's belief. They'll deceive with the negativity, but I just slide right by that energy. Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go. You got a mind, but even that could change. You could flip the gray matter like some batter in your brain. That's why I say, fake it till you make it A. And if you play that game, then you just might make a change. Rearrange all the